Hello, hello, hello. Yeah. It's been a long way without you, my friend. And I tell you what I got it when I see you again. Ooh, the way these people up here crying about Link, crying about how Link is gonna get cut off, it might not ever come back and stuff like that. One, that is illegal. Okay, they can't just cut Link off completely. They try to do that with Social Security. That did not work. I don't know if y'all remember, but they tried to cut off Social Security completely last time, and that did not work. They did an attempt but failed. So if they cut off Link completely, it it's already a lawsuit. It's a big ass lawsuit about it. Okay, 25 states, literally 25 states came forward saying they will sue the fuck out of Trump if he ever touches Link again. And like not just again ever. And no other president stepped up. Not even the racist presidents at that. You had some, we definitely had some racist ass presidents, but they never stepped up and said that they was gonna cut motherfucking Link and Medicare off. Ever. I never heard any president did that. Only president I ever heard that said they was gonna touch Medicare, WIC, and food stamps is Trump. I'm gonna play a song. I'm gonna get copyrighted, but I'm gonna play a song to the EBT. However, a judge did come forward. Once again, the judge did come forward and said Trump has to release those funds, or, or else, or else they could face a big ass fine, like a big ass fine. They did another vote, a joint resolution terminating. I'm looking at the votes now, and it's 50 yeas and 47 nays.
Mr. McConnell. Aye.
On this vote, the yeas are 51, the nays are 47. The joint resolution is passed. Thanks.
Mr. President, I have a brief question for this body before I proceed to my motion. What is it that keeps our nation secure? It is millions of members of our armed forces, active duty reserves, National Guard, civilians supporting them, the Department of Defense, the Coast Guard, the intelligence agencies. They're keeping us safe now, like all federal employees, not knowing when they'll get another paycheck. Our military is less than 1% of our nation. That's how many people sign on the dotted line, up to and including their lives, to keep us safe. They put their lives on the line to secure liberty and security. And I'm grateful to the thousands serving today at Dover Air Force Base, the Delaware National Guard, and throughout our armed forces. They and their families deserve the same devotion to them that they are providing to us. I come from a military family. My father, brother, sister-in-law, uncles all served in the Army, and my father long said he first really understood what it means to be an American when he was responsible for others and others' lives when deployed. Taking care of them is our sacred obligation. So while we keep fighting for better health care, more affordable health care for all Americans, my bill will pay our armed forces now. It will pay active duty, reserve, National Guard, Coast Guard, civilians at the Pentagon, and intelligence agencies, and give those who keep us safe, often at great sacrifice, a small piece of security in return. So, Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent that the Senate proceed to the immediate consideration of Senate Bill 3079, introduced earlier today, that the bill be considered, read 3 times and passed, and the motion to reconsider be considered, made, and laid upon the table.
Is there objection?
Serving the right to object.
Member from Kentucky is recognized.
You know, government shutdowns have real consequences.
Well, who like this so easy to come up here?
I've said that countless times during my time here. And incredibly, it seems to have taken Democrats a month to remember that the proverbial stove is in fact already hot. And yet, they're not ready to turn it off. Just turn it down a notch. just low enough that they can take the political heat. My friend from Delaware is right. Our military deserves a lot better than a government shutdown that jeopardizes their paychecks and the services military families count on. During Democrats' shutdown, the President has had to scrape together unobligated balances within the defense budget in order to uphold the nation's
I don't
promise
understand nothing
to
you're
service
saying.
members through another pay period. I certainly hope he won't have to divert resources from urgent modernization again to make payroll in another 2 weeks. But that ball, of course, is in the Democrats' court. I hope they'll realize soon that the surest way to help service members and civilian DOD employees is to simply turn government funding back on and pass full-year appropriations. I know my counterpart on the Defense Appropriations Subcommittee, of all people, understands this. He knows what would really help our armed forces because he and I work closely together on a full-year bill for defense that would pay service members and invest more in the capabilities they need to keep America safe. I'm grateful for Senator Coons' collaboration on the bipartisan bill that earned overwhelming support in committee and would add $22 billion above the President's defense.
Hassan, we are in day 31 of the
This,
government
by the way,
shutdown.
is the bill that almost every Democrat voted
31.
against, considering
We shouldn't have got
2
this
weeks
far,
ago.
honestly.
I know the
We
ranking
shouldn't
member
have got this
cares
far.
about the promises we make to the all-volunteer force and the challenges we expect them to face. I know he's concerned about the erosion of Congress' authority to set and fund national security priorities. So am I. And if we cannot appropriate, we will render ourselves completely irrelevant. The way to provide real certainty and deliver serious full-year appropriations, just open the government back up and pass our bill. It's really that simple. Therefore, I object.
Objection is heard. Senator from Delaware.
Mr. President, I want to convey my thanks, my gratitude to the chair of the Defense Appropriations Subcommittee, my colleague and friend from Kentucky. We and our staff have had a genuinely constructive and positive process in appropriations this year. Frankly, overall, the Senate Appropriations Committee has worked well. We have passed out of committee a significant number of major bills by big bipartisan margins, 26-3 in the case of our bill and the Labor, Health, and Human Services bill. But there's a stark contrast between the real progress we're making on appropriations and the lack of progress on addressing the core issue of can Americans afford their health care?
No.
Of course I want to move ahead.
Shit, half of us can't afford motherfucking healthcare. There's a lot of people who is not on healthcare, and that is because they either don't get qualified for it or whatever reason. But healthcare should not be a fucking privilege. That shit should be for everybody. I ain't gonna hold you. Healthcare should be for everybody. Cause who's about to be up here paying $800 or $500 for a motherfucking trip in an ambulance or an EMT truck to the hospital? Who about to be paying that out of pocket?
We'll see how much their premiums go up. And if the calls that come in to my colleagues are anything like the calls I'm getting, there will be then an accelerated motion towards resolving this issue and moving forward with appropriations. I'll close by just citing one conversation I had yesterday. I spoke with a small business owner from Delaware. Her name is Jan. She's a stage 4 cancer survivor. She's a small business owner. She told me yesterday, without the Affordable Care Act, she would have died 10 years ago. because insurance would have dropped her. And if her rates double, she will need to close her business of 30 years. This is one of many stories of entrepreneurs, of families, of veterans, of service members, of constituents who've reached out to me. There is an urgency about reopening the government. Yes, I agree. And an urgency about finding a path forward on healthcare. We should be negotiating both now. Thank you, Mr. President. With that, I yield the floor.
Senator from Washington is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. This week, the U.S. Senate voted to terminate national emergency declarations that enabled President Trump's tariffs on Brazil and Canada. Next week, November 5th, 2025, the U.S. Supreme Court will hear a majority of trade cases challenging President Trump's authority to impose global tariffs under the Emergency Powers Act. The law is clear that the president does not have authority under the International Emergency Powers Act to impose sweeping tariffs on imports on more than 80 countries around the world. I am pleased that the U.S. Chamber of Commerce endorsed the Trade Review Act, legislation proposed by myself and Senator Grassley. The Cantwell-Grassley legislation focuses on the fact that it is this body's job and responsibility to do trade acts. The Chamber of Commerce clearly states in their letter that they are representing millions of businesses around the United States of all sizes to try to press upon us the importance of why Congress needs to reinstate its role. The U.S. Chamber writes to the members of the United States Senate, quote, "The U.S. Chamber of Commerce urges Congress to pass legislation to reclaim its constitutional role in setting tariffs, including the Trade Review Act. Doing so would restore appropriate procedural deliberation in the enactment of taxes on trade, benefiting the millions of Americans whose livelihood depend on international commerce, and the certainty that supports investment in our economy." Members of Congress continue to hear from farmers, workers, business owners about the harm inflicted by broad-based tariffs and the associated economic uncertainty. American families are facing thousands of dollars in higher prices as a result of these increased taxes. Small businesses, manufacturers, and ranchers are struggling with higher costs, with additional economic pain likely coming in months. The Chamber, meaning the U.S. Chamber, has long supported legislative proposals to reassert congressional prerogatives on trade as means to secure durable outcomes. The Constitution grants exclusive authority to Congress to lay and collect taxes, duties, and impose an excise, and to regulate commerce with foreign nations. And exercising leadership on this front should be a priority in the context of today's challenging economic outlook. By establishing a more deliberate process for enacting tariffs, Congress can ensure that the appropriate...
Yeah, this cranberry juice my sister gave me tastes like the aftertaste remind me of prune juice.
stakeholders, consultation, and methodological assessments of costs precede any decision to raise taxes on traded goods. To date, several proposals have been introduced that address these concerns, including, but not limited to, the Bipartisan Trade Review Act, and as well as resolutions terminating the National Emergency Declaration on Tariffs, SJ 88 and SJ Res 77. The Chamber urges members of Congress to work across the aisle to enact this legislation, requiring an up or down vote for any new tariffs and those imposed in the year to date. And this is signed by Neil Bradley, Executive Vice President, Chief of Policy, Head of Strategic Advocacy for the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. Mr. President, I would like to enter this into the record.
Without objection.
So, Mr. President, I hope that as we continue to talk about trade, that Congress will take the necessary steps to end the high tariffs on U.S. small businesses and American families. Now, Mr. President, I also want to rise to talk about the serious healthcare crisis and the affordability that is affecting our nation. In just 2 days, on Saturday, November 1st, millions of Americans are going to go online to sign up for their 2026 Affordable Care Act health insurance plan. As we know, keeping healthcare affordable is a key priority. And I see that the premiums that are being talked about are going to increase by hundreds or thousands of dollars every month for the same coverage that they just had this year. That is, next year is going to go up thousands of dollars. Some people are going to say, quote, I can't go without health insurance. I have to find a way to cover this extra cost by cutting back in areas like food and prescription drugs or working longer shifts. But for about 5 million Americans, including 80,000 in my state, they will probably be forced to say, I just can't afford it.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm glad that I'm not on no harsh core medications because baby, them things are man expensive if you do not have insurance. Okay, medications can be very expensive, especially like if you are a diabetic, if you got heart problems, liver problems, kidney, shit like that. You know, that could cost anywhere between $500 to $1,000. 500 to 1,000. And that all depends on your insurance too, but it's still pretty pricey. You know, unfortunately, not everybody can get health insurance, and not everybody can get food stamps insurance too. But even with the food stamps insurance, that's still coming in handy. Okay, you get food stamps insurance, you get health insurance, a separate health insurance outside of that, and your job carries health insurance as well. Health insurance, 401k, dental vision, all that good shit. That's why I say, I used to say a long time ago, like, it's best to have multiple sets of insurance. Because if one don't go through, another one will. Somebody tried to make fun of me. Somebody tried to make fun of me for having food stamp insurance. But at the end of the day, like back when I was working, I became part of the union, and my job carried a whole set of insurance by themselves that was not a part of food stamps. Okay, and because my job was a part of the union, I actually had a lot of access to other things. You know, discounts, all that. So anytime I go to the doctor, if my regular insurance doesn't fall through, I can use my insurance through my job to see a doctor. But now it's like we're not gonna be able to use neither one because the whole thing about to get erased.
For Americans. So I urge my colleagues to continue to work with us. The ACA tax credits expiring at the end of this year, and this enrollment that we're going to see on November 1st, that everybody is going to see how much these costs are going up. I'm asking my colleagues, let's roll up our sleeves. Let's work to lower these costs. I know that in the Affordable Care Act, there are states like New York, Oregon, Minnesota, who had the basic health plan. The basic health plan provision modeled on something our state had first done lowered the costs for a lot of working families across the United States. Programs like this should be considered and solutions that would help us lower costs for the future. I thank the president and I yield the floor.
Mr. President.
Senator from Maine is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I rise today in strong support of Joshua Dunlop to serve on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the First Circuit. Josh is an attorney of extraordinary intelligence, extensive experience, and demonstrated integrity. He is highly respected in the legal community throughout the state of Maine, and I urge my colleagues to support.
Oh, yeah. So, okay, let's talk about tenants' rights a little bit, because a lot of people don't know about tenant rights. I said I was going to talk about this on my Twitch, but I'm going to do a little bit on here, just a little bit, not too much. However, when it comes to tenant rights and landlords and getting your first apartment, one thing for sure, I can tell you that it's a fact. Okay? If you call your landlord and you put in a work order to get something done in your house, and let's just say, oh, then the minimum time is 14 days. Okay? So again, I didn't find that out until after I moved out. Okay? So it was like getting closer and closer when I found out that, yeah, you have 14 days to fix your tenant's apartment. Okay, whatever is wrong with it, yes, your landlord has 14 days to fix your tenant's apartment. Let's just say, oh, you got a water leak, and you call your landlord up for your water leak to get fixed. They got 14 days to go get that shit fixed. If they don't fix it within 14 days, you do have the right to withhold rent. Okay? You do have the right to withhold rent, meaning that you don't have to pay. Well, I'm not gonna say, yeah, but this is just being told to me. You do have the right to withhold rent and use that rent to fix that leak. Or if your floors is messed up and you need your floors to be redone, you could call your landlord, tell your landlord that, hey, the floors needs to be redone. They got 14 days to go fix that problem. If they don't fix the problem, then you could use that money for rent and get the floors done and keep that receipt. The same thing for the ceiling. Let's just say something happened to the ceiling and it started caving in. The landlord got a certain amount of time to get that ceiling fixed. If they don't get that ceiling fixed by a certain amount of time, then yeah, you can withhold rent. Because that same amount of money you pay for rent, they have to use that to fix your apartment. And fix your apartment up. Like the exterminator, right? I mentioned to somebody about the exterminator issue. Now, okay, there was a little bit of confusion on that. When I called the exterminator, okay, yes, it's to prevent the bugs from coming in. However, when I found out that another person had a bug problem, mind you, my neighbor told me that yes, it was a person in the building that lived on our floor that had a bug problem. Okay. So when I heard that, yes, I called out my landlord, tell her, hey, can you send pest control out because somebody had told me some information and I need that to, get that straightened out. So I called pest control. They came out. Matter of fact, they came out a couple of times because they was already supposed to be spraying somebody else's apartment as well in my building. But little did you know, they gave me a letter in the mail, okay, Matter of fact, no, not in the mail. They actually posted it on my door. They posted the letter on my front door. And I seen that shit. I'm like, huh? I read it. They was trying to charge me for pest control. And I researched it. I did do a couple of research things on the pest control thing and trying to find out. The landlord actually is the one that's supposed to be taking care of pest control. Okay. The tenants, when I say take care of pest control, I mean like take care of the cost of pest control, like actually paying them to come out. That's where the rent goes to. That's where the extra funding goes to. Um, the building get like certain funding from the state, and they use that funding to fund the building. Whatever problem that needs to be fixed, they supposed to fix that problem with the funding. The tenants, yes, we don't get charged for pest control. Now, we can, I ain't gonna tell you a lie, but technically, we can and cannot exterminate our own apartment. Normally, we're not supposed to. Normally, we're not supposed to exterminate our own apartment. But if the problem has not got fixed within a time frame, even though they just say, "Oh yeah, you cleaned up, you do everything out, you started all the way the fuck over, you did what you're supposed to do." Okay, you did what you're supposed to do. You called your landlord. The landlord come out saying that yeah, they called the exterminator. And they come out, exterminate your apartment. Okay, let's just say if they came out and exterminated your apartment and you exterminated their apartment and you still having the same problem, even though you already fixed the problem, you could also exterminate your own house. Okay, you could exterminate your own house and keep that receipt. So when court comes, you have the receipt saying, "Yeah, I have to exterminate my own house." Okay, and exterminate my own house because whatever they used did not work. I did everything she told me to do. I cleaned up, washed the dishes, threw away the trash, all that. You know, it's a process, all that. But normally, technically, you're not supposed to exterminate your own house. But if the problem has not get fixed and the problem did not start with you, let's just say the problem didn't start with you, it started with somebody else. Let's just say your neighbor. Your neighbor had a bug problem and it spread it from their apartment to your apartment to another person's apartment. Everybody calling in about a bug problem. If the bug problem did not start with you, they cannot charge you for pest control. Technically, that is illegal. If they try to charge you like they did me for pest control, they could get in a world trouble. Okay, they could definitely get in world trouble for that. If you don't believe me, let's Google it. Let's do a little Googling. Okay, let's see. Can I turn on my camera? Oh my god. I forgot to wrap my hair up. My bad, y'all. My bad. Don't see me. Don't look at me. Oh my god, that was terrible. But according, let's see. Okay, it says right here, a landlord can charge a tenant for pest control if the infestation, keyword infestation, is the tenant's fault due to neglect, such as poor sanitation for leaving food out. However, it's generally the landlord's responsibility to cover pest control, especially for common pests like roaches or bed bugs, unless the lease states otherwise. If the tenant caused the problem, the landlord may charge for the service or deduct it from the security deposit. Okay. So technically, like I said, oh, here's another one. This for Reddit too. Oh, y'all. This from Reddit. If you look down here, it says this is from a year ago, so 2024. Can my landlord charge me for pest control? Let's click on that. Okay. I'm gonna do some reading. Look at my hair. Look at my hair. I should have put a scarf on it. Damn. Now. Oh my God. I should have put a damn scarf on it. The reason why I bring this up is because, yes, I had got a letter before I moved out about pest control, and my landlord was trying to charge me for pest control. Even though the problem did not start with me, and I have proof that it did not start with me, okay? They still trying to charge me with pest control. Talk about I am now in charge of any additional calls for pest control, and if I decline pest control, I would get a violation for declining pest control. So either way it goes, it was a lose-lose situation for me. Ready. Okay. Again, this was from now it's 2 years ago. Okay, cool. 'Cause 2 years ago I was in my apartment. This person says, can my landlord charge me for pest control, even if it wasn't my fault? Okay. Let's read this story. I live in a student housing, and there were sorry y'all. I'm over here acting like I can't read. What the fuck? I live in student housing, and there has been ants in the apartment. Since before I moved in, we are 5 in the apartment. 2 of them just moved out and were replaced. And one of the new tenants complained about ants in her bathroom. One of 2 bathrooms I never used. Before. My landlord comes and states that since there are 3 of us who remains did not complain about the ants as soon as we moved in, she says we should have complained 2 weeks ago. We are liable for paying for pest control, not in our bathroom, not in our bathrooms. The 3 of us use a different bathroom, but the 2 girls who just moved in won't pay a cent because they complained in due time. Is this allowed? Yeah, sorry if I sound like I can't read today. I don't know what's going on. But I'm assuming they had proved that we caused the ants, which we absolutely didn't, because 1, the ants were there before we moved in. 2, we kept the apartment extremely clean, and the ants were just there because of how old the building is. Is there any clues in the standards on Ontario lease? I think they meant to put original lease that I could use to review this. God damn. And I can't read or they can't type, because what the fuck? So basically, what this statement is saying, okay, what this question is saying, their roommate, hold on. Okay, there were 5 girls in a bedroom. What was it? 5 bedroom? Okay, there were 5 girls sharing their apartment. 2 of them moved out. One of the bathrooms that they were using had ants in it. And because they moved out, and they complained in time, and the other ones didn't. They trying to say that because the ones who remain in the apartment is responsible of getting those ants out, according to the landlord. And according to this other person who answered that post, no, you aren't required to pay for pest control. That is the landlord's responsibility. Furthermore, if the landlord is refusing to treat the infestation, you can probably get a 30% rent abatement for the period of time when the landlord was informed and when it was fixed. Now, I don't know what the code is for my building, but I had talked to my mom about it a while ago, and she said that technically you are supposed to give 14 days to get the problem fixed. If you got any type of pest control, like roaches, bed bugs, spiders, and things like that. If you call in and say, yeah, we got a problem, can you come get it fixed? They got 14 days to come get it fixed. The longer they go without getting it fixed, yes, you do have the right to deduct from rent. Either deduct or withhold from rent, but it all depends on the state and state guidelines. Another one says your landlord can only compel you to pay for the repairs or maintenance if either you pay voluntarily or they apply the LTB and demonstrate that the costs are due to your reasonable damage to the unit. So, because the pest control problem, again, yes, the pest control problem did not start from my house. Okay, it never started from my house, but because I called in, they made it look like it started from my house, and that's why I got that pest control letter. They try to say, oh yeah, you denied pest control and this, that, the third with pest control, and now you are responsible for any additional costs. But when it comes to the pest control part and the additional cost part, they're gonna have to prove really hard that the problem came from my house. That's just it. You gave me a letter stating I'm responsible for any additional costs. You're gonna have to prove that. If you cannot prove that, whatever the problem is came from my house, you cannot charge me for pest control. Okay. And then the longer it goes without getting it fixed, the more money the landlord loses. And here's another one. It's your landlord's responsibility to pay, but before making an issue out of it, I would just go to the Canadian Tire and pay $10 for a pack of liquid ink base and see if that kills the colony. As a tenant, if you can deal with things that are very cheaply, it's often worth just paying for yourself, like changing light bulbs or batteries and smoke detectors. That's funny because somebody on TikTok, I was on TikTok live the other night, and somebody on TikTok had heard the smoke detectors go off. They were like, change the smoke detectors. I'm like, I ain't changing shit. This is not my motherfucking house. It's not my job to change the motherfucking smoke detector. That's maintenance. What the fuck you talking about? I ain't getting my ass on no damn ladder. But when it comes to that issue, like I didn't know I can do it myself. Yeah, I didn't know I can even do that shit. I actually called and reported it. I reported the issue actually. When I called, I reported it because somebody had told me that somebody else apartment had it first. Somebody else apartment had that shit first. Another person said the same thing. Your landlord is responsible for maintenance, which pest control falls under. you can only be forced to pay more than your legal rent through an order from the LTB. If your landlord wants to pursue that, he could try. It is unlikely to be successful though. The same thing with roaches. If you have a roach problem and you call your landlord to handle the roach problem, let's just say you try to handle it yourself and it still won't go away. You call the landlord and the landlord comes and he said, yeah, I got something for it. He comes and the roaches are still there, fail, whatever the fuck he used did not work. Now you gotta have to spend more money out of your pocket for exterminate. So that's basically what it is. Like if you have to spend money out of your own pocket to exterminate your own damn house, you gotta do what's best for you. Because at the end of the day, if your landlord won't do it and he won't come back and finish the job or start the job off, for whatever the case might be, and it's past the 14-day mark, then yeah, you do have the right to withhold rent and keep that receipt. And also keep track of our phone call. That's why I say, like, most of the time your receipts are on our phones. So once you get your main receipts, it's gonna be on a phone call. Them phone call conversations could end up motherfucking quick, fast, in a hurry. Hey. And you know what's crazy? Y'all wanna know what's crazy about the whole rent issue? When I went to my landlord to talk about the 30-day issue, okay, the 30-day termination, I went and talked to her. She slipped up and mentioned a 5-day notice. Okay. It wasn't on my phone, but it was a phone call between the main landlord and then the new one that she had hired to take over the building. Both of us, the three of us, it was me and the new landlord that she hired and the other landlord that was on the phone. We always sitting down, right hand to God. I would not lie about this, y'all. I promise you, I would not lie about this. Right hand to God, right hand to everybody in heaven, including Sister Mary. We sat down and talked about the 30-day notice, right? Why she sat up there and mentioned day 4, like day 4 of the 30-day notice? She sat up there and mentioned day 4 of the. So I bet you knew about the 5-day notice. This motherfucker knew about the 5-day notice. Like, I promise you, I would not lie about it. Put me on a lie detector test right now. Put me on a motherfucking lie detector test right now. She sat up there and told me that we're on day 4. Okay, she didn't say day 1, she didn't say day 2, she didn't say day 3, she said day 4 of the 5-day notice. So because she mentioned that, I promise you I will not lie about this. If I'm lying, God could strike me down right now. He could turn off my computer, turn off my phone, stop my fan. She mentioned the 4-day notice when we were sitting down talking about the 30-day termination. So that means She set herself up for that. Because by law, you are, and everybody told me that by law, you are supposed to get a 5-day notice. If you don't get a 5-day notice, then the 30-day notice is really fake. It's nothing you can do with it. Okay? It's really nothing you can do with it without that 5-day notice. And because she mentioned day 4, that just me that in, she just verified day 4 of the 5-day notice when I was sitting there with her talking over the phone. So in no way. So she just lied. Excuse me, y'all. She actually lied. 'Cause I think I had mentioned something about the 5-day notice to her or something about that, and she gotta tell me it's not true, but over the phone you said we was on day 4. Like over the phone you said we was on day 4 of the 5-day notice. So which is like for real. Caught you in a whole lie. I wish I would have had that shit on record. That's the only thing. Like I wish I would have had that shit on fucking record. But I remember, like I swear to fuck God, y'all, I remember God could stop everything right the fuck down if I'm up here lying. We all sat down, me and the new landlord in the building. We all sat down in the office. She called, the new landlord called the old landlord, which is her supervisor, the one that hired her to take over the building that I was in. And she said it out of her own mouth that was on day 4. So technically, because she mentioned day 4, that 5-day notice did apply, and you knew that 5-day notice did apply. So like I said, that shit is invalid, and I could go give me another motherfucking apartment. I could go give me a bitch, please. Apartment hunting. What you talk about? And then it says once you vacate and in your 30-day notice, you owe nothing. Make sure you have documentation that you have vacated. And mind you, like she gave me a whole 30-day notice, and allowed me to stay in an apartment for a whole extra month, even though I had a 30-day notice to get out. But I stayed in there for an extra month. I stayed in the apartment all the way until September? And I got the notice in July. On July 31st, I got the notice to get out in August, at the end of August. But I stayed till towards the end of September. And she allowed it. Like my landlord was stupid. My landlord was fucking stupid. She allowed me to stay in there for an extra month. And technically, even if she couldn't touch me anyway. She couldn't touch me. You could give me a 30-day notice to get out, but the sheriff would have to come and put me out in them cell, and that shit takes extra time. Like it takes about a good couple weeks to a couple months to get that notice out. But the whole time, all I needed was really like 2 months. Give me 2 months, I'll be gone. 2 months, I'm gone. What you talk about? And that's crazy. A lot of people told me to know, stay in your apartment, stay in your apartment. I'm like, stay in my house for what? For me to continue to get harassed? I was already getting harassed right then and there. Every day she was coming to my house, giving me a fucking weird ass note about something. I just put in, my landlord gave me a 30-day notice to leave, but allowed me to stay in the apartment for an additional month. What should I do? So I put that in. I actually put that in, and I got proof. I could call my internet people, and I could call the motherfucking gas people. That's my proof right there. That I was still in that motherfucking house after the 30-day notice. I was still there. Mind you, I didn't move out until really towards the end of September. I didn't move out till the end of September, really. It says you should get the new agreement in writing, as the landlord can legally accept rent after a notice deadline. If they already filed for an eviction without a court permission, if you're on a month-to-month lease, a 30-day written notice is standard, but you should clarify any changes with your landlord. If you can't agree, consider getting legal advice, as specific regulations can differ by city or state. One thing about my landlord is that she is fucking dumb. Like, she just don't know how bad she snitched on herself, y'all. She don't know how bad she snitched on herself. I'm gonna have to do some. I'm gonna be sorry. I'm gonna have to do some more research on the 5 day notice. God, I swear to God, like my landlord mentioned the 4 day thing. I'm like 4 days. Okay. Good. She loves to try to confuse me. Okay. One thing about her, she loves to try to confuse me. She knows that I have a little mental issue going on, and she be trying to use that to her advantage. But I'm trying to like not let that get to me. I got other shit I got going on. I was told that I could get my master's degree. I could get a master's degree the same year I graduated out of my bachelor's degree. Like I could go straight into a master's degree program and be done with it within a year and a half. Depends on the length of the program, the school, and if you're doing it part time, full time. But if I do it full time, a year max. Hopefully less than a year. But yeah, I just thought I would come back up here and tell you what's going on with the 30-day notice. I had to get some more information on the 30-day notice. 30-day notice, 5 day notice, but yeah, everybody around Chicago area saying that you have to have a 5 day notice. And my landlord knows that, and she slipped up again, like she slipped up when on a phone call conversation talking about the 5 day notice. She was actually talking about it. I remember that shit. She was talking about the 5 day notice. Talk about, oh yeah, we are now. This is her words. She said we are now on day 4, which means she acknowledged that 5 day notice. That right there already mean like, yeah, you acknowledge the 5 day notice. You know the 5 day notice existed. You knew that. You fucked up. You knew that. People say, yeah, I talk too much. Nonsense. Landlords does too. I might take too much, but the landlords does too. Because she fucked up by saying day 4, which means you acknowledge the 5 day notice, which means you failed to give me one in person. Okay, you were supposed to give me a 5 day notice before you gave me the 30-day, because you never gave me the 5 day, and you mentioned day 4, no case, right? No case. Am I not correct? Ain't no case. I might still have to pay some of that money back, which I'm okay with. But at the end of the day, if I had to pay something back, I'll pay something back. But it's not gonna be the whole amount that they asked for. It's not gonna be the whole entire amount that they asked for. I might have to pay something, but not the whole entire amount, which is fair. You know what I'm saying? Which is more than fair. Because by the time, let me see, and hopefully by mid next year, I should be working as an official healthcare worker, not just a caregiver, not just a CNA, not just an LPN, but somewhere in a healthcare field that pays a little bit more than what I'm getting now. I should be a little bit above the $50,000 a year tax bracket, according to my calculations. Might be a little off, but I should be up to at least like above that by mid next year. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, the only thing is, if I do go straight into my master's, like if I go straight into my master's degree after my bachelor's degree, because he said I do got that option. What should I get my degree in? Because I talked to my sister, and my sister, I talked to both my sisters about going into my master's degree, master's degree program right after my bachelor's. Like, what field should I get it in? Should I do a BSc? Should I do business? Should I do marketing? You know, at StreamYard, oh yeah, I need to do a couple of StreamYards. We need to watch some of these live streams about the Senate talking and shit. They ain't saying a bunch of nothing. They saying something, but ain't nothing being done. Nothing is being done. We're gonna be 2 months into the shutdown.
Mr. Schumer, no.
They up here voting now about something else. But yeah, my landlord fucked up. She knows she fucked up. She slipped up and said day 4. I can believe I actually remembered that. We're never scared. Well, we are never scared. Yeah. Let me not say that. Let me not say that. Fucking monkey my ass beat. Singing that damn song. Let me see. Actually, my student advisor thing sent me a list of programs to get with my master's. And the master's is only 43 credits. I told her that is such ass backwards. I feel like that shit is ass backwards. Like, how the hell a master's degree is only 43 credits? Meanwhile, a bachelor's degree is 180 credits. That shit is so fucking ass backwards. Like, we gotta work hard as fuck to get you 180. Meanwhile, a master's degree is only 43. 43? Listen, I want to piss up the shit out of my.
Mr. Murphy.
I want to piss up the shit out of everybody in my fucking school. I don't give a fuck. I want to piss up the shit out of, like, bitch, the whole time. A master's degree is 43 fucking credits. Let me see this motherfucking catalog that this girl sent me about the master's degree program. And I wound up missing the deadline of this other opportunity I had. So my school also told me in a phone call conversation that whole time I could have knocked off 2 or 3 of my classes and had a jump start into my master's degree program, depending on my GPA. But because my GPA right now is at a 2.65. That's only because I was late on 2 assignments that dropped me down. And yes, they do.
The yeas are 51, the nays are 47. The motion is agreed to. The clerk will report the nomination.
Nomination, the judiciary, Joshua D. Dunlap of Maine to be United States Circuit Judge for the First Circuit.
Congratulations. But yeah, my school said that if I would have started at the beginning of the year, I would have had a head start into my master's program while I would still do my bachelor's degree program. Like, I would still be my bachelor's degree program, but I would also be in my master's degree program, because my master's degree program is called the Advanced Master's Opportunity thing. The Advanced Master Program. And what it does is, if you reach like a 3.0 or higher, you can knock off a couple of classes out of your bachelor's degree program, and that gets you a jump start in a master's degree program. And that way you can graduate, still being in your bachelor's degree program with your master's degree. I mean, graduate while you're still getting your master's degree program. Okay? So, y'all, you can still graduate while you still get your master's degree program from school. It was confusing the way they said it too. I was confused about it. We both were like, huh? And they said, yeah, if you are in your bachelor's degree program, I don't know if all schools got that, but if you are in your bachelor's degree program and you still got some classes left, they can knock off a couple of classes, as long as your GPA is 3.0 or higher. And you can use that to get into your master's degree program and have a head start on that. And by the time you graduate your bachelor's degree program, you'll be halfway towards graduating from your master's degree program. So I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, that's cool. I wish I would have knew that earlier this year or last year. Okay. I wish I would have known that last year. I would have been did that shit. I would have been had the opportunity. But I didn't know about it until this year. Last motherfucking minute. Last fucking minute. But I know that for the well, it ain't gonna be no next time. Cause next time it's gonna be my master's degree, and that's gonna be my last time I'm gonna be going to motherfucking school unless it's to get my RN license. Okay, they got a whole list. Hold on, they got a whole list of master's degree programs. Hold on, y'all. She gonna call me baby boo. Let's see. They got a master's of business administration. I already got an associate's degree in business administration. They got a master's of business administration in accounting concentration, business administration, master's of business administration in data analytic concentration, master's of business administration in entrepreneurship concentration, master of business administration in finance concentration, master's of business administration in healthcare management concentration. Oh, that's crazy because when I first started college, my first major was actually, my first major was actually, what was it? The entrepreneurship. I never finished my entrepreneurship. Let's see. Okay, they got a lot of best. Okay, so all the bachelor's degree programs they have. I keep saying bachelor's degree program. What the fuck am I talking about? All the business administration programs they have when it comes to the master's degree, they got master's degree of business administration, master's degree in business administration in accounting concentration, data analytic concentration, entrepreneurship concentration, finance concentration, healthcare management concentration, human resource management concentration, marketing concentration, operation supply management concentration, project management concentration. Okay, that's all the business administration master's degree. And then they got the Masters of Science. They got a Masters of Science in Computer Science, Masters of Science in Computer Science, Cyber Security Engineer concentration. They also got one in Data Science concentration, Software Engineering concentration, Homeland Security concentration, Healthcare Management, Masters of Science in Healthcare Management, Masters of Science in Homeland Security, Emergency Management, and Public Health concentration. Masters in Science in Information Technology, Masters of Science in Information Technology, Networking Management, and Specialization. Whew, that's a mouthful. Let's see. They got Masters of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner, Family Nurse Practitioner. Oh, they got a Masters of Science in Nursing and Family Nurse Practitioner, Postgraduate Certificate in Family Nurse Practitioner, Nursing Administration, and Nursing Education. That's ooh. I got a list. Okay. Baby, don't touch me. Please don't touch me. Don't talk to me. I don't know you. Don't talk to me. I got a whole master's. I got an associate's, a bachelor's, and a master's. So the fuck is you? Don't touch me. Ew. You ain't a white wipe when you try to handle me. Ew, don't touch me. Now go. Use this wet wipe. Wipe your hands. Wipe your mouth. There you go. Ew. I got a whole list of master's programs to choose from, including nursing. Imagine me having a degree, a Master's of Science in Nursing, a family nursing practitioner. Bitch, I done made it. Fuck off. Fuck off. I done fucking made it. I done fucking made it, bitch. I'm a whole family nursing practitioner. I'm making a whole million. Oh, shit. I picked the right motherfucking school, bitch. I picked the right fucking school. Hold on, they got some other shit, too. That's not it. They got some other shit. What is... Okay, Masters of Business Accounting concentration. I think I said that already. Let's see. They got Data Science concentration, Masters of Science in Computer Science. I'm saying that wrong. What? Masters of Science in Computer Science, Data Science concentration. And they got Software Engineering, Criminal Justice, Informatics concentration, Masters of Science in Healthcare Management, Informatics. Nice. And they got a doctoral. Bitch, they got a whole doctoral. A doctoral degree. They got a fucking doctorate. Okay. They got a Doctor of Computer Science, Doctor of Computer Science, Big Data Analytics concentration, Doctor of Computer Science, Big Data Analytics. I still said that shit wrong. What the fuck? Still said that shit wrong. The Doctor of Computer Science, Cybersecurity, and Information Assurance concentration, Doctor of Management, Executive Leadership concentration, Doctor of Management, Healthcare Management and Leadership concentration, Doctor of Management, Homeland Security concentration, Doctor of Management, Organization Development and Change concentration, and Doctor of Nursing Practice. Ah, shit. Motherfucking shit. But yeah, me and my school have to have a nice phone talk about that doctor's degree. Ooh, I'm surprised I ain't seen nothing about motherfucking what's that shit? PhD. Let me see if they got one. PhD. I don't know, y'all. I don't know which one I want to choose. I still got a while to go. If I get my master's, I might as well go ahead and get my doctor's. Go all out. All motherfucking out. Go all out for my fucking doctoral degree, bitch. I got a whole fucking doctoral. I gotta be the only sibling. Mind you, it's none of us. I'm gonna be the only sibling with a doctoral degree, bitch. A doctoral degree. Ooh. Like, I don't know how to be humble. Fuck that shit. I don't know how to be fucking humble. I'm gonna be walking around like, bitch, I got a whole associate's degree, bachelor's degree, master's degree, and a fucking doctoral degree. Why the fuck are we arguing? Why the fuck is you in my face? Be gone, motherfucker. Be gone. You better be lucky I ain't calling you a damn peasant. Be gone. They gotta list that bachelor's degree too as well. Oh, I should have got a bachelor's in marketing. I was just talking to my sister about marketing. Ooh, I got a bachelor's degree. Not got what the fuck? They got a bachelor's degree in bachelor's of science in nursing, RN to BSN, RN to BS, bitch. I didn't even know they had that shit. A bachelor's of science in nursing is 100 credit often offered online. Okay, Bachelor's of Science in Nursing is a 180 credit hours program that is offered online. The program requires that the student have an unencumbered license to practice as a registered nurse or in the United States to enter the program. As a larger, damn, I didn't even know they had this. I didn't even fucking know they had this, bruh. Let's see. Well, I could do my master's in nursing. They get a master's for nurses. So I could do I'll do my master's in nursing. That way I already have that. Family practitioner. I get a postgraduate certificate. And they also got a master's of science degree. Let me see the postgraduate certificate. So yeah, I'm over here reading my college catalog. Look at just to get that. The PGC FNP prepares the nurses for the advanced lectures and to sit for the national certification exam. Certification exam applies may be denied exam and is criminal. Okay. Ideologies, nurse practitioner, pharmacology, nursing. This one only takes 52 credit hours. Total credit 52. Oh, this. I feel like I've been ripped the fuck off, y'all. I really feel like I've been ripped the fuck off. I don't know why, but I just feel like I got ripped off. If this one is only 52 credits, I might as well go ahead and do this one. Family nurse participation. Family nurse practitioner. Why can't you try to say participation? What the fuck? Family nurse practitioner. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get off. I got some studying to do. I'll catch you later. Just like your girl. Just let y'all know that I will be getting my master's degree. Especially 52 credits. Knock that shit off. Boom. Okay? You are looking at your future family practitioner nurse. Oh damn! Even with the so even with the RN degree, I'm gonna still have to do the NCLEX exam. Do the NCLEX exam, and I still have to apply for it. So it's still a whole 10 steps I gotta do with this shit. A whole 10 steps. Fuck. 10 extra steps before I get that actual license to nurse. Yeah, it's 11:02. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get off for real. I know I told y'all too much. I definitely have told y'all too damn much. I got a little excited and a little carried away. But I'll talk to you guys later. Y'all be safe. Stay prayed up. Cause we all need the prayer. Stay prayed up. And I am out.